Hi everyone, and welcome to our training today on how to make blog posts with Gutenberg. My name is Jana Stevens, and I am a content strategist at Infomedia. I've been using Gutenberg for a couple of months now on my own blog and in a workplace setting as well, and I have found it to be extremely easy to use, and it's actually very cool to work with as well. So I'm excited to give you some tips and tricks today on how to create your own blog posts using Gutenberg. The first question that is probably on your mind is, what is Gutenberg and why do I need to know how to use it? Gutenberg is the new WordPress editor, and it helps you create content in a visual way. Gutenberg is cool because it provides a library of pre-built elements, and these are called blocks, to help you create content. Using blocks to create your content is going to give you a sense of how your content will look without having to continually preview it as you're working. Let's dive in and learn how to use blocks to create a post in Gutenberg. We'll go through some high-level points, and then I will demo what this actually looks like using WordPress. When you've started a new blog post in WordPress, you can give it a title, and you can also edit your custom post URL. Once your draft auto-saves, you'll have the option to edit your URL by clicking into the title box. We will see what this looks like in real time in just a few minutes. And now let's get into actually adding in blocks with Gutenberg. When you have added your title, you can click the plus sign on the left-hand side of the page to add a block. Blocks can be used to create all kinds of content. You can create headings and text and images. Paragraphs are also broken into blocks by pressing enter, or as you add more blocks, you can continue to click the plus sign on the left-hand side of the page. Images can also be added as blocks. You can choose the image block and then pick whether you want to upload an image, insert from your media library, or insert from a URL. As you go to insert a block, you're going to see your most frequently used blocks as suggestions for what to enter next. You can also use the search feature to find others. So some examples of other blocks that you might find useful are the list block, and this is great for breaking up your paragraphs into more of a list format. And the media and text block. This one's going to allow you to add in an image, but also have text out beside it. When you're working in your document and adding in blocks, you actually have a couple of options on the right-hand side of your page. One is the option to edit your document as a whole, and the next is to edit the current block that you're on. So you can toggle between these two on the right-hand side of the page. In the document area, you can set categories for your blog post, you can add in tags, and you can also add in a featured image. Block-specific settings, such as your font size, drop cap, and image overlay color, can all be edited in the block section. So again, you can toggle back and forth between these two on the right-hand side of the page. Let's take a look at what this looks like in WordPress. So I'm going to switch over to the WordPress site, and we are going to look at adding in a blog post. So I'm going to go to add my blog post. And the first thing that I want to do is give it a title. Now, like I mentioned earlier, as your draft auto-saves, you are going to have the option to create a custom post URL. Then I can click here and you can see that the URL right now is above the title. And if I want to edit that, I can click on this edit button. And this is going to give me the option to change this to whatever I want. So maybe I want to take out the word the. And now I've just updated my post URL. Next, I'm ready to add a block. So I'll click the plus sign on the left-hand side of my page. And you can see that my most used blocks have popped up. I'm going to choose the paragraph block first and give my post a little bit of text to start out. One thing to note is that paragraphs actually break into blocks. So if I want to start a new paragraph and therefore a new block, I can press enter. And you can see that it has created a separate block, so I can continue to type. So pressing enter is a good option if you want to create another text block. Now I also have the option to add a heading and change the heading type. Now, if I wanted to change this particular block to a heading instead, you have the option to change the block type and I can transform it. Once I've changed it to a heading, I have the option to choose which heading type that I want. And over on the right-hand side of the page, we are right now looking at the specific block settings. And I have a few more options here. I also have the option to align my text. And then there will be some advanced options as well. It is very easy to add images in Gutenberg. I have my new block, and let's say that I actually want this to be an image. So again, I can come to the plus sign on the left-hand side of the page. I can choose my image block. So then I have the option to upload, insert from a URL, or select an image from my media library. I'm going to choose this image from my media library. Now, once I've inserted an image, I also have the option to choose how I want this image to be aligned. I can also choose to make this a wide width image or full width. But for now, I'm just going to keep it centered. And then I'm going to continue to add some blocks. Another cool option is the media and text block. And again, this is going to allow you to add in an image with some text out to the side. Once again, on the right-hand side of the page, right now, since I'm inside my block, I have some settings that are specific to this particular block. So I can actually change my text size here. I can also choose the drop cap option. And I can even add in some color settings. So if I want this block to have a background color, or if I want the text to be a different color, I can do that here as well. Now, if you want to edit your document as a whole, you do have the option to do that. You'll just want to make sure that your cursor is outside of the block area. So right now, none of my blocks are selected. And over on the right-hand side of the page, I can edit my document. Here's another spot where I can change the URL of my post. I can add in a category. And I can also give my post some tags. This is also where you're able to add in a featured image. So it's very easy to do that as well. One thing that's definitely recommended as you're adding blocks and getting used to using the Gutenberg editor is really just kind of click around and search for blocks that are relevant to the type of content that you post. If you have a photography blog, for example, there is an option for a gallery block, and that's going to allow you to add multiple images instead of just one. You have Flickr, you have Instagram, so you can link to specific images from those websites. You can add in quotes. And if you just start typing in the search bar, you can see some different items. And there you have it. Some quick and easy tips for how to add a blog post using Gutenberg.